What up, y'all? Tim Z here, back at it again, like you can always expect. Know what I mean? And today, gonna be doing an unboxing, but the knife is already out because there's nothing inside of it except for this little piece of cardboard and the knife. Okay, um, there's like an oil stain here for some reason. I don't know why. The knife maybe had oils on it or lubricant, and it came out over here. Yeah, so you get nothing with this knife except for the box and the knife. That's all. Okay. Yeah. And then yes, today is a SOG. Okay. There you go. We'll keep this right here. All right. So today it's a little video on the Terminus. And I know a lot of y'all seen this knife. It's been around for a while, but I just got my hands on it now. Okay, so you're seeing the video. Um, this was on sale during Black Friday. The price probably still roughly the same. This is probably the least popular model because this was the only one that was $39.99. Okay, and the ones with a satin blade and different handle colors, scale colors, or in the 40s, some of them in the 50s, depending where you look. Uh, they have more expensive variations of this knife with carbon fiber. You know, this one with like a carbon fiber. It's like a layer of carbon fiber. It's not a solid scale, and that one was going for like 84. I almost snagged that one, but then I saw another knife, which you guys will see a video on soon. I saw it, and it was like a little over 100, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna pick this one up instead. And that's the time when I picked these two up together. Okay, this was 26 and this one was 39. And I originally wasn't gonna pick up a Terminus because I picked up the other knife, but on Blade HQ I saw this one on sale, and I always liked Hinderers, and the Hinderer design. So I was like, all right, you know what? I gotta pick this one up for 26. I don't think it goes much cheaper than that. That was a great sale. This one $39.99. Now let's flip it. All right. So I gotta tell you, all right, this is not like it's brand new and I just took it out of the box, okay? But I have been messing with the pivot, okay? Because when I took it out of the box, I was not happy at all right? I was like flipping it and it would like not flip, and it would get stuck halfway through, and it sounded like sandpaper on the pivot. It's like it didn't sound smooth. It's a little better now because I guess I've been playing with it a little while and just flicking it, pulling this, flicking it back, flick, and flicking like this. I have to say, it's much better right now after playing with the knife and flicking it around. Okay, the G10 feels nice. Okay, this is gray G10, and I hope it looks good on the camera. It seems to look okay, and I mean, I'm pretty happy with it right now. Pocket clip looks good, but out of the box, the action was like horrible. Okay, I mean, it would get stuck and I couldn't flick it, and even drop shutting it with this XR lock, it was like it didn't wanna, like, it was rough. And it's not. It's I have to say, this is not as smooth as Benchmade's Axis lock. There's no way. All right, I don't believe it is. It it's almost there now when I keep playing with it. Okay, but in the beginning, man, I was like, this is not like the Axis lock at all. And the one thing is, when you playing with this knife, is like you gotta really make sure your thumb is not on the XR lock notch here, okay? Because you need it needs to swing out, and when you swing the blade out, you see the lock moves, okay? So you make sure your thumb is not here, which on a lot of flippers, your thumb natural placement may be here for some of you. And for me, it would be. But for this knife, you got to make sure your hand's out of the way a little bit, Okay, and yeah, so it's it's just the way it is, you know. And I know Benchmade used to have some kind of they only had not that many, maybe just one Benchmade with a flipper with axis lock, and I know people were saying that one was kind of rough and didn't have good action. But you know what? Maybe it's just because the XR lock or the axis lock, um, it's not really like the smoothest flipper you can have because you gotta get past the spring. But you know what? It's getting much better now. Or maybe I'm just getting used to it because I'll tell you one thing on this Terminus XR. You're gonna want to make sure you push um, down. All right, over here, you want to push like this. Okay, you want to push like that. You see how like there's an angle here. You want to push this inwards, in. All right, because if you try to do a light switch with this, it doesn't want to do it. Okay, so no light switching this one. All right, you gotta push down almost like a button, but not like it's like a button. All right, but the thing about that is like it makes you feel like you gotta put a lot of pressure on the flipper tab to make it the blade actuate all the way, right? And I know a lot of y'all are used to buttery smooth actions, and honestly, for this one, like if you're not used to it, you're gonna fail to bring it out sometimes. You know, you gotta have some speed on your finger, not just strength. Like you gotta have some intent. Like you know, you gotta give it some oomph. Like you gotta push it down firmly, and make sure you're pushing the right direction. Okay, you can't just like a limp finger this one. Okay, limp finger this one, and it's gonna do that, right? So you gotta move your finger with speed. You know, like some speed and pushing it um, like down this way. You know, and you want to give it some speed. If you have some speed on your finger, this thing will come out every time, okay? And that's just the thing. Each knife feels different. And for this one, the flipper is a different kind of shape. If you look at that, I'm sorry, I have a black background over here. That's kind of bad. All right. So you see the flipper is not those usual sticking out flippers. This one's a little different shape. And because of that, you gotta press on it differently. All right. And now that it's broken in a little bit, it drops shut. Okay, it drops shut to this point if you pull them back on a lock, and then if you let go, it will suck the blade in. All right. But in the beginning, man, it would not do it. I was like, oh, this is not great. Okay, but it's much better now. We got thumb stud deployment too. I know some people are complaining about the thumb studs, I believe. For me, it wow, the thumb stud's kind of snappy itself. You do have to a little for like a notch to get over here, but once you it comes out with authority, you know, on the thumb stud. But it's a little bit tough on the thumb, so you might not want to keep doing that. It's alright though. Okay. It's thumb stud's fine. It almost feels like the Benchmade when you use the thumb stud. The Benchmade Mini Bugout feels like this a little bit. Except the Mini Bugout's blade feels like it's on nothing. It's like real smooth. But this one gives a little more oomph behind it. Alright. For me, this knife feels more solid than the Benchmade Mini Bugout, which is why some people like this one more than the Mini Bugout, even though this is in the $40 to $50 range, and the Mini Bugout is like $120, because the Mini Bugout doesn't have solid liners. Okay, that one just has a what do they call that thing? Grivery? I don't know, whatever. But yeah, it has plastic handles, and this one has liners, right? Just regular steel ones, I guess. And yeah, it's milled out. These are milled out. You know what? Let me take out this Through-Night T1 and we'll take a look. I'm not sure you're gonna be able to see anything. Why is the Through-Night? Okay. It's hard to see. Oh, you see it? Yeah, so there's some milling out over there. That's really good. Saving some weight. Yeah. Let's see if my scale's working now. Where's my scale? Oh, I brought it. Oh, I removed the scale. Okay. I remember now. This one was like right around 3 ounces. So great blade. Blade size to weight ratio, 3 inches, 3 ounces, whatever. Some of y'all picky about that stuff, but yeah, it's getting much better now. And my finger, I'm getting used to pressing this flipper. In the beginning, I was really disappointed, but you know what? This one takes some break it in, guys. I messed with the pivot a little bit too to see if loosening it would do anything, but honestly, loosening it didn't do much except create blade play. Okay, so I tightened it back up and just started fidgeting with it like crazy. Yeah, man, for 40 bucks, great. At full price, not so great. Okay, but I really love Axis locks, and this XR lock basically is the Axis lock. It's the same thing, and you know what? I love the Axis lock because it closes and opens one-handedly. You know, there's no more fidgety than this, except push button locks. Button locks, you just press it and it shuts. You know, this is just as good though. Just so if you get your SOG, I mean SOG. Damn it, I don't know why I just said SOG. SOG Terminus XR, and you are unhappy with the action, just start swinging it around non-stop. Get used to your finger, because let me tell you, I'm getting much better at pressing that flipper now. Just keep fooling around with that flipper. Getting much better. I'm gonna like this one now. Okay, it feels solid. It's just yeah, really happy with how it broke in. Let's see. You guys can see how much it's centered well. The camera looked like it's not centered, but it's centered, all right? Yeah, it's centered. Camera's always tricky, you know, with distortion and the angle, but it's really nice. I don't know why I'm rambling now. I guess this is just how I do things. And you still watch it right now. I really appreciate you guys. This is great. It's a more solid feeling bug out with a flipper, basically. And it doesn't have the S30V steel, but if you go up in price to like $84 for the carbon fiber layer scale, you get the S35VN, I think. But I didn't want to spend a lot since I was buying a bunch of other blades, and this one, 40 bucks. I was like, all right, that will get me into the Terminus XR without spending too much. And yeah, love it. I love this lock. All right, that's what makes this knife great. Now at this point, my only real gripe is you know what? I don't know. It's like a perfect grip for me, pretty much. I did feel initially that the blade was, this handle was a little bit too wide. I didn't like how much space was between the liners and the blade, but that's kind of nitpicking. This is $40. You can't really expect tighter tolerances than that. Yeah, but I know some of you guys gonna say I'm crazy and shit. Yeah, it's fun, man. All right, guys. So yeah, out of the box, not great. After fidgeting and breaking in and getting used to using the finger on this blade, great blade for 40. Yeah, one last look. D2 is perfect for every day. All right, I don't. Some of y'all guys are um, steel snobs, and honestly, you don't even use your blade. Yeah. So if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. I've been posting a lot of videos, and usually I post one time per week at least. Um, and if you want to see my Instagram content, I post some short videos there. I post pictures. You can follow me there at TimZUSA. Had a mind fart right there. And yeah, until next time, Tim Z out.